Okay. Boy, I tell you what, technology is something. I figured out how to get this thing to work. Happy Memorial Day. That is today. And everyone, I hope everyone's having a great day today, whether you're on the road or not. And just thought I'd come in here for a little bit. And it just felt like a day to be on. I don't know why. Just felt like a day to be on. So hello out there. How are you? Hey, happy Memorial Day to you. How you doing? You doing great? It's always good to see you. Are you on the road or are you out and about with the family? Nice, very nice. Okay, so you're out camping, man. I bet that was a good time. Did you stay close by, or did you guys? You don't have to travel too far to go camping, do you? You got plenty of places nearby. You could travel all the way here to the middle of the country and go camping, but like I say, you don't have to go too far. That would be. I bet you're driving right now too, aren't you? I'll tell you what, I didn't do. I didn't get too many things done this. Well, I'm not going to say I didn't get too many things done this weekend. Was busy working, busy, you know, just doing what it is I do. But I kind of missed the whole holiday weekend. I didn't get a chance to really just relax and be out and about. So we're gonna have to make some time for that next time. Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. I'm sure the family enjoyed that. Um, Always good to get away. Just to be able to have a little time, a relaxing time, especially if you're talking about camping. Now, I've never been camping. I'll be honest with you. Um, it's not a thing that I've ever wanted to do. I probably, I think I might have gone. I don't know if you classify this as camping. When I was younger, I was in high school. I think we went on a retreat, and so we went to this place where we did stay inside, but everything that we did was outside, and it was in the wilderness, and it was really cool. And then when we slept inside, we slept on the ground, if I remember correctly. So I call it camping, but it was really a good time. And then I think one other time I had a church retreat, and it was similar to that. And we all went out, but most people were ready to go by the next day because we had a lot of rain, and it just was not. It wasn't fun for a lot of people. So, but camping is something I definitely would love to do. It's just that I don't know if how well I would do with the elements. So, um, but that I'd love to go camping. I would love to. I tell you what I did. I was watching just now. I don't know if you've heard of the Veggie Boys. I've never heard of them before, but for some reason I came across their video and I was watching it, and they have a farm. Um, I like that one. Yeah, glamping is that sounds more my speed. I think I'd be a part of that. I think I could do that for sure. But I saw this video. It's called the Veggie Boys, and the Veggie Boys they have a farm. I guess they do they do videos. It's this guy, his father, and then there's some other people. But I just saw him and his father, and they were laying mulch. I guess is what it was, and preparing to for the planting season. And man, I was just fascinated. It's like a 23-minute video, and I still have about 8 minutes to go on it. I plan to go back and watch it, but I was just watching them on the farm, and I'd never been intrigued about farming before until I watched them, and just hearing what the process is and what they go through. Just a little bit that I heard, it really, really was fascinating, and so. Outdoors, I mean, that's an element of outdoor. That's not camping, but it's being out in the elements. So it was it was really interesting. So either next time I think I'm gonna have to go farming, I'm gonna have to go camping, one of them, glamping or farming, one of the two. And I think I'm leaning toward farming for some reason. You have to deal with the elements in farming too. So but this weekend I didn't get out, didn't do much really other than work. Was inside, did some work, and man, I think I'm at the end of today, I'm just gonna try to relax as much as I can. But just thought I'd get on here, see who was out there, see who's on the road, see who was hanging out. See if anyone was on the road working. Or just taking a little time off, because this week's probably going to be a little slow. Normally after the holidays, it's slow. I don't know if that's what you guys are going to do, if you guys are going to take off this week and, just chill a little bit and know that the freight will supposed to pick up in about a week and get back at it. So that would be a good thing for me to do. No, you know what? A good thing for me to do is to reach out to you guys. That's a good thing for me to do. There's a lot of things I'd probably get done and connect with you guys, since you guys might not be as busy. What are you guys going to be doing here for? Let's see. We're already June, so we're already ending the second quarter of the year. We're going to be coming up on July. What does it look like for you guys? Are you guys finding it to be? Do you see any opportunities coming up? We're in the produce season. Do you guys see any new opportunities coming up? Do you see slowdown out there? Do you see anything to do with tariffs? Is that impacting your business? What do you guys see going on out there? If anything. I think I'm gonna have to find for this week I'm gonna have to I've got a lot of stuff that I could actually throw you guys' way. I even have some opportunities that I could throw you guys' way. If you guys are looking for some opportunities. I'm talking about some customers that you might have some interest in coming here in the second half of the year. Okay. Okay. All right. I think a lot of people are looking for drivers, huh? I mean, I've been hearing that for quite a while, to be honest with you. Some of my customers, they had opportunities and they said, if I just had drivers, I could pick up some more freight. And, that was within the past couple of years. And it seems like that's been the case, that there's been, do we call this a driver shortage? Is that what we call it? Okay. All right. Are you still staying in the area? Is that, or are you venturing out more? Are you going beyond your immediate area? And how many trucks do you have now? What do you have? You have about 15 trucks now. Are you at? Have you picked up more trucks? Because I know you were picking up some clients in the area, which was great. That was good. I was really excited to hear that. Okay. It's Montana, Wisconsin, and Texas. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Cheap Freight. How you doing out there? Oh, you got 15 trucks? Are you serious? Is that true? 15? If you have 15, how many did you have before? That that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that it's picking up. That's DIY. Yeah, DIY. I know. Is he at 15 or is it 16 or is it 20? Who knows? Can't keep up with that guy. That guy's like he's really doing it. He's like the guy you look to want to be, right? I'm hearing about produce. I was just talking about produce. Produce is, as far as I know, it's been picking up. What have you been experiencing? 6 trucks, 3 reefers, 3 dry. All right, it's a nice balance. That's a great balance. Good. Now you just need a flatbed or two, huh? He probably owns them all, huh? Eduardo, hey, how you doing there? Are you on the road or are you hanging out or what are you doing? Are you um, hanging at the house? Okay. Oh, it's been slow, huh? Yeah, I know that I think LA port was slow. Um, and then I think there might have been some pickup. I mean, the tariffs. You're absolutely right. It's just kind of an up and down thing, and a lot of businesses, unfortunately, they cancel orders. They've uh, just at a standstill, trying to decide what to do. And we're talking small businesses. I mean, there's definitely more small businesses out there than there are big businesses, like 90% or plus, something like that. But they put in their orders, and um, the tariffs are going to definitely give them reason to pause. And even big companies, no one knows what to do. So yeah, I'm hearing it's been pretty slow out there. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's great. That is amazing. That's amazing. I love hearing that. There's you guys are out there making it happen and doing it the right way, I'm sure. So um, yeah, let's bring on another truck. Let's keep that thing rolling. Then that way you can take more. What did you call them? Glampings. More of those type of vacations. I'm sure the wife probably likes that, or maybe she'd rather be out. I don't know. I don't know. So like the produce season, Eduardo, I was saying I was watching a video. I don't know if you watch the Veggie Boys. They have a video and they have a farm, and so they basically show a video of them on the farm. They were showing a video. I think it might have just came out today or yesterday, and they were laying mulch and just getting ready for the planting season. And before that, they were feeding the chickens, and I was like, "That's a lot of chickens. I didn't think that there were that many chickens. I didn't even know chickens existed anymore." I mean, I see eggs in the store, but I don't know. They seem to have quite a few chickens. Healthy chickens. So um, the chickens look healthy. He didn't mention anything other than that. They look good. So yeah, we should have eggs in the store. So are you guys finding the tariffs? Is that has that been a big topic for anybody, or is that really not? I mean, I don't know who I talked to. I talked to someone who said tariffs aren't really anything to be concerned with at this moment. But I think depending upon who you talk to, like, if you go into a facility and you're talking to the people in, in whether it's the warehouse or shipping, receiving, they might not really know what the company is really dealing with, what the company is deciding, how tariffs is impacting the company. Some do, but all don't necessarily, know. They're not really aware. So I think you need to talk to, those that are at the executive level, and I'm sure that they know what's going on, at least with the company. And but I'm really curious. I think I need to call some shippers. That's what I need to do, is reach out and communicate with some shippers. How are you guys doing? Are you guys talking to any shippers? Have you guys been reaching out, being able to have any conversations with shippers, or is that something you guys do anymore? Or how's that coming along? Are you guys still working with brokers? I mean, there's nothing wrong with working with brokers. Brokers, if you have a good relationship with brokers, it's not a bad thing. But are you guys? I mean, you've got your own trucks now. Are you guys working on your own shippers? Hmm. Yeah, I've heard some of the shippers I've talked to, again, some of them are telling me it's not a big deal about tariffs, and they've just kind of been at a standstill. So, what can you do until a decision is made? That's kind of tough. It's like if you have someone that you're trying to work with, and they're not. Um, whether it is that they're giving you mixed signals, that's a tough situation to try to work with. Um, or basically, you just don't know what they're going to do. So you can't make a move with them one way or another. With a shipper, you can't make a move whether you're going to get a new truck, get another truck, or if you're not, you have to have some kind of idea as to what's going on. At least what they're thinking. And when you don't know, it's really hard to make any decision. And obviously, that's what a lot of these companies are going through. Hmm. Well, these guys have some really good coffee. I can't let them get me hooked to it, though. I'm not a coffee guy, but man, that coffee is pretty good. It's not even coffee, honestly. It's the fake coffee, I guess, is what I would call it. Drives more direct freight. Okay. Okay. More reefer. Okay. Very good. Very good. How's the produce season for you? Is that is that even a season for you? Well, I guess it would be, huh? because this is going to be, well, let's see. We still got a little time. We still have some time. I think the weather's been pretty good for it. I think there's, you don't get down to Florida, do you? Yeah. What's going on in Florida? Haven't dealt with Florida in a long time. As a matter of fact, I had a carrier, and she says she's trying to get out of Florida. Actually, she wants to move from Florida. She doesn't want to be in Florida anymore. She said it's just tough, down there. So she's trying to get out of there. I think she's trying to get to Atlanta. It's where she wants to go. Potatoes, huh? Yeah. I don't know what's a produce anymore. I haven't a clue, but so yeah. So potatoes that can go year round, right? I mean, depending upon who your client is, you can have potatoes. I guess 6 months out of the year, and then the other 6 months out of the year. You just got to switch the customers. I think that's kind of how it works, but. You would think potatoes is something that just doesn't stop. I mean, I guess it depends on how it's. I don't know anything about farming or anything like that. Hopefully, I'm going to learn. I mean, I really enjoy watching the Veggie Boys, their channel. But yeah, that was fun to watch. So I guess I'll watch that a little bit more. I'll get to know a little bit about farming. I remember not too long ago, my mom, she had a little garden, and she put all kind of stuff out in this little garden. And I mean, week to week to week. Next thing I know, she's got, what did she plant? Gosh, I can't even remember what it was, but she did it for 1 year, and it was pretty good, whatever she produced or planted. And I just can't. I don't know. It's never been my thing, but I love to. So August. So right now, potatoes are. It's not for. I guess who you haul the potatoes for. This is not their season. So come August, they'll be ready to go. So good. Keep those trucks running, huh? Keep those trucks running. Have you guys, like you say, come August, man, that's just right around the corner. We got July, then August, so that's only a couple of months away. Oh, nice. You have been making some connections, my friend, huh? You have been making some connections. That is amazing. That's great. That is great. How have you been doing this? Have you just been picking up the phone and reaching out to these people, or how, are they just finding you and then reaching out to you? I bet they're just finding you, huh? You probably just put a post out there, and all these companies just find you. And if that's the case, that's great. That okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very good. So getting that in direct, huh? How never post trucks. Never post trucks. What'd you do? Did you just build great relationships with these guys, and they just got you on the list, and they know, hey, Um, I, they probably don't even post them, huh? They just give you a call. That's what we need. We need to get those relationships going. Not saying no one has them, but I mean, for those that are out there and um, looking to really do some things, you definitely want to build those relationships. Sometimes it takes a little time to build those relationships, but you got to start somewhere. That's the key. Is when you start communicating with people, um, it's not something you do just one time. It's something that evolves over time in terms of the relationship. So being able to reach out and actually I mean, that initial contact is not, I'm going to say it's not hard. It really is not. But there is a way to do it. There's a way it can be done. And, but then after that, what happens is for a lot of people, they don't follow through. And and when I say follow through, I don't mean just pick up the phone and make a call, to connect with them a second time. Again, it's a process. So it takes more than one contact. And over time, it ends up paying off. But there is a process that's involved. And I always say that people lose opportunities in the follow up. That's where things slip through the cracks, you know. But again, there is a process. There's a way to do that follow up, and ultimately be able to have an opportunity. Get an opportunity. Mm. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So, see, where he broadcasts local sports. Very nice. Yeah, that's what you have to do. So potatoes came because I started advertising on the Brokers YouTube channel where they broadcast local sports. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. That is fantastic. You got to put yourself out there, and things will happen. You said local sports. What local sports do you guys have up there? Trying to think of. Let's see. Now I know that I know the events that they're not necessarily your team sports, but I know that you guys get involved in some sports. So what is it that what was the local sports that you broadcast on? Um, is there a minor league baseball team up that way? There might be one up there. Let me think. We've got sports teams here. I have not been following at all. I don't even know what's going on here. When is the freight volume expected to increase? Boy, I tell you what, if you have an answer to that, boy, I think a lot of people would love to know that. I mean, I think one of the things is that you brought up. When you talk about tariffs, I think things will flow. I mean, things have been shut down. I wouldn't say shut down. Well, yeah, I could say that. Even freight just being turned away. Whether it is that some people are like, I'm not, I can't afford it. I have orders that are sitting overseas that I cannot bring in. You've got the 90-day pause. So I would imagine there's going to be some kind of movement within that 90-day period. So I would say definitely here within this 90-day period, you got to keep your ear to the ground and just keep your eyes open. And but more so, when I say that, I'm talking about, again, going back to relationships, communicating with opportunities, and just whether they're brokers, whether they're shippers direct, and just reaching out to these opportunities. Um, just opening yourself up to it, finding out what they know, what their interests are, finding out what their plans are, seeing what's going on, what's happening, because they're kind of in limbo. I mean, they are in limbo. They don't know what to do other than to just pause. But again, with the 90-day hold, there's an opportunity to move freight, to put in orders and get those orders where they need to be. So I would say definitely your brokers and your shippers, if you're communicating with them, they should have answers for you. They should be able to tell you. And like I said, if you get with the higher level the executives, if you're able to communicate with them, that I believe is the best way to go, especially in this economic climate. Communicate with those guys and those gals, whether it's the CEO, the CEO, COO, CFO, any of them, the VP of sales, VP of transportation. And if you can't get a hold of them, you can't. But I would not limit myself. That's who I would communicate with. And I mean, it's a legitimate question. They have legitimate answers, and they want to move freight just as much as anyone, and that's just a part of the business. And if they can't, then it's not good for their business. It's really not good for anyone, to be honest with you. You look at some of these economic indicators. You can see that consumers are challenged. They're becoming more stressed. Consumers continue to do what they do, though. They continue to spend money, and but in terms of being concerned with what's going on out there, they are concerned, and it totally makes sense. Consumers, they kind of go with the wind in terms of how they feel. If one day, just like the stock market, if Trump says, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and then the next day it's totally opposite, the mood goes with whatever he says. But right now, I would communicate with the shippers and brokers, but more so shippers, and I would try to communicate with those at the top of the food chain, see what they've got to say. As I was saying, I need to reach out to some of those guys this week. High school sports, yeah, high school sports. Let's go. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. A lot of sports going on, huh? Lots of sports going on. Yeah. Now, your kids are into, is it uh was it karate or something like that? I forget what the sport was. Where you guys, I think you guys traveled, right? Maybe traveled traveled down south for some big event down there. Well, let's see. When does 90-day hold begin? When it begin? I think it ends though, and is it like July I want to say maybe 15th. I don't have to look that one up, but it wasn't too long ago. Was it a week or so ago? 90-day. Let's see, hold on China tariffs began. Looks like 90-day pause, May 14th. Yep. So what's today? Yeah, so it was about a week ago. A little over a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I guess. scheduled to end. Oh, August the 12th. August. I was thinking it was July. Was that just said July, May, June, July, August. There you go. Yep, that's 3 months. So August 12th is when that's scheduled to end. So you're looking at just like before. When companies did a pull forward, remember at the end of the year last year, 2024 or 2024, there was a big surge. 2024, the end of 2024, it was good for the economy. And then coming into the new year, it kind of it kind of slowed down. And the reason being is because companies pulled forward with the anticipation of the Trump tariffs. So they wanted to get, as much freight in as they could. And that happened before he went into office, and which was January 20th, of course. And then all of a sudden, we had all these tariffs come about, and it's, just created a lot of disruption. And so businesses have been trying to figure out what to do beyond that, right? And so it's been that beautiful word, tariff, that has been kind of just guiding shippers in terms of what they do, or I guess not do. So right now we're looking at this hold, and I think it's a 10%, or is it 20%? I don't remember. I can't keep up with it all, but so the 100 and was it 45? I think it went down to, I don't remember what it was, 80 something, and so now it's down to 10 or something like that, and it's going to be held until the 12th of August. So yeah, so what I would do, boy, I tell you what, this is the way I look at it. In situations like this is a good time to reach out and try to build relationships. Try to communicate with people, talk to people. It definitely is a hot topic, can be a hot topic for some, but it's an opportunity for you to reach out. That's what I would do. I would communicate with people. I've never posted trucks because I felt I would put it. Ah, no. I mean, it seems like you're doing fine. I mean, you say you've got 6 trucks, right? And don't post. I don't see a problem with it. I mean, that would be the idea, I would imagine. Me not having trucks, I'm just thinking that if I have relationships, and I can communicate with someone and get my truck covered, and I don't have to go through, and I don't even know if it's called negotiating, to be honest with you, because it's more of that you're bidding. You're bidding between other companies. There's other companies out there that want that freight. And so at that point, they're trying to figure out, okay, who we're going to go with. And then they decide on you. And I guess then negotiations start. But to be able to avoid that, I think that's what I would prefer to do. I'd want to be able to wake up in the morning and not feel that stress, and be able to go on my camping trip and and enjoy my time. And I'm not saying that there's no stress when you do have direct shippers, or when you do have those relationships, but when those relationships have been developed, I think it definitely makes it a better situation. So however you're doing it, you're doing it right. And if it means that you don't put your trucks on the board, and that's just how you do it, all right, let's put a class together and teach that. That's a good thing. Oh yeah, archery, that's right. Oh, okay, all right, okay. Oh, so you're in South Dakota now. You moved? My cousin used to live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I remember we went up there, and it was nice. It was very many, many, many years ago, but it was a definitely nice spot to be. I didn't spend much time up there. I think we were there for honestly, it might have only been a day. I think we were just there for a day. I mean, in terms of the increase in volume over the next couple of weeks, I mean, I think we could have an increase. I don't see why not. I'll be honest with you. As I said, I've had my head buried in some things that I've been putting together. I'd love to share with you guys, but I haven't really been into the whole freight scene. But I would definitely say this again, just on the surface with the tariff action alone, it's definitely has disrupted volume, freight volume. Not all freight volume, but definitely, I mean, a lot of freight comes in from overseas. You know, we have a lot of freight that comes in from China, and that freight has to move. But if it's not coming in, I think up in the northeast or northwest, at one point they had no ships, you know, because of this. They had no ships up there. There was no freight up there. So the ships were just turning around, going back, and but now with this 90-day pause, and I think the idea too is you can't halt activity, right? So in the meantime, let's say, hey, we'll talk and we'll put 90 days on it. Let's give our companies an opportunity to move freight, give them an opportunity to do business, to conduct business, to stay in business. So there's freight out there. Once again, as I said, it's a matter of finding those opportunities. And we I keep saying that, and the reason I say that is because we have something we developed where we actually are able to provide you with opportunities. I mean, we provide you with a lot of information in regards to what's going on in your particular area, and then we can actually provide you with some leads. And when I say leads, I'm not talking about like here, call 100 leads, but I mean some pretty targeted leads, that you could reach out to and work to develop a relationship with them. And a lot of people may not want to do that, but all I can say is that um, anything that you do that's worthwhile, it's going to take some effort. I mean, if I'm not putting loads on the board, man, I'm going against the norm, right? And so therefore, I've got to figure out how that's going to work. I've got to make that work. If I decide I'm not going to I got to figure out other things. I got to go communicate with, build relationships, shake some hands, find out how I can get advertising on this sports channel. How can I do this? How can I do that? What are some other ways that I can get the freight, get those opportunities, build relationships, get some consistent freight, So again, with the 90-day pause, I would just look at it as an opportunity. How can I communicate with these people? How can I get in front of them? Do I need to do an advertisement, or do I just need to go out there and shake some hands? Again, it's a topic, just like we're talking about it now. It definitely is a way to get in and have a conversation, um, about it. You know, I would definitely do that. Mm, I didn't have. Mm, mm. I wonder. So is like and that's a good. I like that thought. When you like tariff proof, what is tariff proof? What out there is tariff proof? What can you think of any product that's tariff proof? I mean, we have to eat. We all have to eat for sure. There's no question about that. So um, we need food, we need shelter, we need clothing. Those are things that we need. I think a lot of clothes, probably come from China, maybe. I'm assuming. There's other Asian countries that we get clothing from, but what is tariff proof? And if that freight is moving, it's probably a lot of people that are like, all right, that's the freight I need to go after. But that's one way to think about it, is what out there is tariff proof, and who then can I talk to? What companies can I go after at that point? You know, I think I saw that it was the CEO of Procter and Gamble. I'm trying to remember what he was saying. He was on not too long ago, and basically, I think they had a new product that was, I think, coming out. Or, well, there was, what did he say? Metamucil, I think, is one of their products. Yeah, and there is an ingredient in the Metamucil that comes from, gosh, I can't remember where it comes from now, but it comes. I think it's an Asian country, and he was like, that product, that ingredient, they cannot grow it here. The conditions just aren't conducive for it. It might have been India. I can't remember where it was at, but at any rate, so that becomes impacted because of the tariffs, and you can't go anywhere else to get it. And that is where they're able to get it at the price point that they need it to be at in order to for that product. And I remember many years ago, we were moving orchids, and that similar situation. There weren't tariffs involved, but it was just that, I think it's Taiwan. That's where orchids. It's a really good environment. The climate is great for orchids, and so orchids come out of there. They're like, I guess, the king of orchids. And then I think in South America as well, that's a good area. But orchids are produced here, but they're produced, in a nursery. But I think there it's more in the natural environment. And so with Procter and Gamble, I know they've been affected by tariffs. Um, I don't know that they pass that cost on, but there's, it's just impacting everyone. So like I say, when you reach out to these opportunities, to these shippers, it doesn't matter whether it's a big company, small company, they're all dealing with it and talking about it. So I would definitely just reach out to those opportunities, reach out to shippers, see what's going on. Yeah, see. Here we go. So did anybody barbecue today? Oh, today is the start of I guess they open up the pools today, right? It's cold here. This is not the time to be going swimming. I don't think anyone, I'm sure someone went swimming, but I think it's in the 60s. So it's not one of those hot summer days. We're already May 26th, and we're in the 60s here in Kansas City. That is cool. It's nice though. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. The heat is really something that is a challenge for me, but 60s in May, it's pretty nice. Now we get into June. That's just when everything flips. I don't care how we could have snow all the way up to the last day of May, and then when we hit June, it's over. It's summertime. It's hot. So we'll see. So what do we got? June, July, August. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We had one year, I remember it was nice the entire year, and my grass looked amazing. You know, it was amazing that whole year. I didn't even have to really do anything to it, just cut it, you know. What I've been working on, man, I tell you what, I've been working on. I just paused and thought about how much work I've been putting into it. I got tired, but yeah, but no. So I've been working on something, man, that I think is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Um, as you might know, I got my degree in economics, and I've been in sales since, man, for 30 something years, professionally. That means getting paid, after I got out of school. So I've been doing that for the past 30 years, and trucking. I've been in this for over 20 years, and just the three, man, they go together so well. And with the economics part of it, I just realized how much our industry is just based on the economy, and so I wanted to put something together that help people who are coming into our industry and those that are in our industry be able to understand that and be able to see that and actually start operating in a way that these three things actually matter for them. Because if you, which you probably do, I'm not saying you don't, if you understand that connection between economics and the trucking industry, I mean, our industry follows the economy. Like you just asked me, when are things going to pick up? And we talk about tariffs, we talk about what goes on overseas, these geopolitical things that go on, things that happen locally, whether it is, it can be disease, it could be population, it could be, housing, it could be all kind of things, because we move all that product that's involved with, um, with society. So when we understand how we're so interconnected with that, or how the economy actually dictates our industry, then we can start looking at some things in a different way. Now I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying, well, I mean, we can talk about it. That's fine, because probably you have more to say about it than I do, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. But like broker transparency, the way I look at it, I used to be a broker some time ago, but I was never on the carrier side. But I would say that if you focus in on broker transparency, there's other things that you're going to be missing. I think that that's not the bigger fight. I think that there's opportunity out there. And if one is able to see that and be able to understand some things in regards to economics and in regards to transportation and in regards to sales, you'll find that you can spend your energy in a different way that could be more productive than to see a rate sheet. You know, um, it's okay. I mean, I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying I think that there can be a way that one can benefit greater in putting their energies in a different way. And and so to get back to what it is that I've been working on, I developed something where it actually helps you to see like what's going on now in the economy and related to trucking, and also be able to see down the road, so then you can make better decisions. You can make decisions based upon that information that maybe no one else sees, that no one else is thinking about. And if you're able to have that type of insight and be able to make those decisions, you can actually have a different conversation with these opportunities, with these shippers, even brokers. Your conversation could be totally different. So when I was talking about that you could communicate with people at the executive level, what I'm doing, actually, I have developed where I can provide you with scripting even to have those conversations, that would give you an opportunity to be able to talk to those executive levels. And when you're able to talk to them, um, there's ones that will listen. I mean, the thing about it is that you don't have to be talking to a CEO or anyone of that level in order to have these conversations. Because the thing about it is that when you start seeing things in a different way, you're going to start moving in a different way. You're going to start communicating with people just automatically in a different way. And it will be in a way where no one else is talking to, others aren't talking to. Everyone is talking about, hey, do you have the freight? Do you have freight? Do you have freight? Or want to buy, want to buy, want to buy. Everyone sounds the same, you know. But when someone is coming with some insight and someone has something to offer, when you have something to offer more than freight that could actually help them and benefit them and give them some insight as to what's happening, then that conversation changes and that opportunity changes. That relationship changes, you know, and not just changes in order to get the freight, but also in retaining the business and to gain more wallet share. So when you do go through times where it's things are prosperous, that to me is not the time to. You want to take advantage of that, and definitely generate revenue, but you also want to take advantage of that and build relationships. It's a great time to build relationships because there's going to be, on the flip side, as we've said so many times, where it's going to be challenging. I mean, if we want to say right now it's challenging, there's still a lot of trucks out there. Understand in terms of a lot of trucks came in during COVID, and a lot of trucks still need to leave the market. But being able to say, okay, here we are in a time period where there's not as much volume. I'm still communicating with these people that I was communicating with when there was volume. You know, you've built relationships. So you have to be able to say, all right, let me invest when times are good in this way. And then when times become challenging, it pays off. It pays off. So in terms of what it is that I'm doing, DIY says it best. It's a guide that, how does he put it? It's a guide to help you make better decisions. But I mean, it really goes deep into. We have a report that we give out every week in your area. Whatever your area is, it doesn't matter if we're talking about North Dakota, South Dakota, Florida, whatever. We're providing you with a report that gives you some insight in regards to what's going on, and then we also provide you with a monthly report as well. And this report really goes in depth and gives you some pretty good insight that helps you to plan your month. But then we provide you a weekly report, and then that way you're able to actually make plans on a weekly basis. But when I say that, the information that we provide, we also are providing you scripting based upon what's going on, and being able to reach out and do those follow-ups that we talked about. I mean, we give you really good information that you can use when you're doing your follow-up. So all of these things that we're providing you allows you to put together this follow-up process so that eventually, you're gonna get opportunities. Um, we also have developed what's called Freight U, FR8U, Freight University, and I'm really excited about that. There's some information, I mean, a lot of good information that's going to be in there. We're going to continue to add to it. We're going to continue to add to that, and that's going to be something that you're going to always be able to go back to and really get some solid information that will help you in regards to growing your business. But with Freight U, we're even going to have weekly where, we'll have this group session, be able to call in and have our little class, so we'll have Freight U, that's going to be coming out as well. And then we also have another weekly call that we'll be having. But I mean, all of this stuff that we're talking about is designed to help you get in, connect with these opportunities, get the business, but retain it as well, and grow from there. So I'm pretty excited about that, but it has been a lot of work. I kid you not. I kid you not. But I tell you what, man. I'm gonna give you. If you don't already have it, I'm gonna give you my email address. Shoot me an email. All right, and I'll get that over to you, and you can check it out. Uh, get me at paul.k@fr8connect.com. And just say I don't know, whatever in there. I'll know what you're talking about. Just hey, send me that information on Freight You, or whatever it is, and I'll get it right over to you, and you can check that out. So beautiful 71 here. So 71, 70. That's my goodness. I need to get up there. 71, 72, 73. I think that's perfect weather. I mean, it's like fall, to be honest with you. I mean, it's that's great weather, especially when you have the blue sky. I mean, what else do you need? I think I'd go camping at that point. I wouldn't mind going camping. I'd do a little camping, a little farming, get me out of the city. I'd definitely do that. So Eduardo, how's Chicago? Has Chicago been cold? Has it been pretty nice for you? Or I know I had a client up there, and man, I used to go up there all the time because I had relatives in Evanston, right north of Chicago. Was it Northwestern College? And it was a nice place. I loved being up there, but man, you go up there during the winter, it's brutal. It is brutal. In the low 60s. Okay, we can take that as long as you're not in the, you know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is a fun time. There's man, what is that? Is that Elizabeth Fountain? I forget what it is. It's that big fountain. There's a big fountain. Then it's the park, and I could be wrong because this is so many years ago, and I just remember everyone out playing soccer, and that was just a great a great scene. As long as there's no snow in May. I was talking about that the other day, talking about that, man, we might get snow in May. You never know. But we just have a few more days. Yeah. Has it ever snowed in Chicago in May? It can get hot in Chicago too. Not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it can get pretty hot up there. I just know one year, man, we were out, and I mean the buildings are so tall. It's just I love Chicago, man. April years ago, yeah, we've had snow in April here in Kansas City. Yeah, we're not too far away from you. No, but you guys get it. You get the brutal winds. We like I said, we were out one time and we were downtown. It was pretty cold. I don't know if what month it was, but we were walking around and it was just so cold. And it was so cold. I guess we got delirious because we ended up walking around this block and we went to Starbucks. And then we got warmed up and we decided to go out again. And we said, man, they've got a lot of Starbucks here. We walked in a circle and we passed the same Starbucks again. And I don't know how we did that. We were like, we don't even know where we're going, but it was just so cold up there. I love Chicago. Chicago's a great place to be. In the summertime, there's a lot to do, so much to do up there. That means in South Dakota, it's warmer than it is Chicago. I think we've got 60s here. Mm, yep, 60, 64. Mm. Wow. Was it wow, that's when the tariffs he lifted the tariffs May 14th. But wow. Well, I tell you what, I think yeah, Wisconsin gets a little bit of that too, don't they? Around that time of the year, around this time of the year, they can. Yeah. I think we had hail not too long ago. When this is that time of the year we have those storms. This is like tornado weather, and I think we had hail at some point. Not to probably here in May. Um, yeah, there was a big. I don't know. There was a big hailstorm, but we had hail, and then we had hail. I think it was the latter part of last year, and that was pretty bad. Um, but yeah, as long as I don't have to deal with as long as I don't have to deal with hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes, bad enough. But the hurricanes, I think that's a tough one to deal with. Earthquakes, it's just no way. I lived out in California for a bit, and I was I experienced an earthquake once, and it was more like a truck hit the apartment. That's what it felt like. It felt like something hit the apartment, and I had no clue what it was. But I'm sitting there, I'm looking around trying to figure it out, and I thought about it. And I said, you know what? I think that was an earthquake. And I called a friend of mine, and she had no clue. She had to ask the people at work, and they all told her, "Yeah, we just had a little tremor, I guess." And it freaked me out. It's like I can't do this. And it was so funny because not even funny. It seemed like anytime I left California to come back home, there was an earthquake. Or I was going back to California right before I got back, there was an earthquake. So it's like I always missed the earthquakes, which was totally fine for me. I think if I had my choice, I don't know. Where do they have none of these things? Is that Arizona? Is that where I don't have to deal with any of that stuff? Mm-hmm. Looks like we're seeing good weather. Weather. Shannon. Hmm, that's good. Yeah, it looks like we got pretty decent weather throughout the country. It doesn't look like anybody's really going to have, unless this is I'm looking at a bad map. Um, yeah, it looks like we're pretty clear throughout the country. Yeah, this is a pretty decent holiday weekend, actually, weather-wise. So Eduardo, are you looking for freight just out of that, like out of the port area? Is that is that what you tend to look for? And then that's what keeps you busy is a lot of the port work, or do you do anything outside of that? No, we didn't have any. We did not have any storms. Nope. I mean, we had. Let's see. Yesterday was fine, was decent. Before that, I think we did have some rain. Now that I think about it, we had some rain, but not anything that was too terrible. I think we had, here in the Midwest, we always say, if you don't like the weather, stick around 5 minutes and it'll change. I mean, literally, we go from it looking like the worst weather to all of a sudden it's the best day ever. So the storm comes through. We have all these clouds and we have a lot of rain. We have the thunder, and you hear the sirens going off, which did happen this week. And then I'm telling you, about 10, 15 minutes later, the sky's clear, sun came out. It was a whole new day, you know, a whole new day. So we did have some weather come through, but it wasn't. I don't think it was anything significant. I didn't pay attention to it, so it was good weather. Okay, okay, no worries, no worries. Are you looking to get your own authority, or what are you looking to do? You good where you're at? All right. Well, very good. Yeah, you hang around some of these guys. Yeah, you'll get there. Yep, you'll definitely get there. Yeah, these guys have been around a while. They know what they're doing. Mm. Anybody have anything on the dinner menu that like anything special for today on the dinner menu? I'm trying to figure out what's gonna be my on my plate tonight, because I didn't do anything special, but um, I think I might want to uh, try something other than a hamburger. I'm talking about you. What do you mean you're still learning? We all are. That's what it's about, right? I mean, you know more than you knew 2 years ago. You know more than you knew 4 years ago. You know, so we're all learning. So yeah, absolutely, I'm talking about you. Mm, well, that sounds good. I don't think I should have asked. That was probably not a good question for me to ask. Yeah, because that steaks and burger, that sounds really, really, really good right now. Anything on the grill sounds good right about now. See, I'm telling you, I bet you learned how to grill steaks and burgers uh, better than you did 4 years ago. You know, so we're always learning. We're always learning. And to have six trucks, I mean, you have six of your own trucks, you know. And I think what I understand is, like I said, I've never had trucks before, but you know, you can tell me, when was it that, at what point did you find, well, no, let me back up. So you have six trucks, and at one point, I guess I would say you had one, and then you had two, and you know, you eventually got to six. When did it, is there a point that things changed, like became more challenging? Is there a point where you had to figure things out in a different way, you know, where things shifted, maybe where you needed help, or maybe where you just had to figure out how to do things in a different way, or just in having six different people that are in your truck, um, that you had to manage things in a different way, or you know, you decided, hey, you know what, it's time for me to come off the road, or maybe you still drive, you know, but when was that, was there ever, did you just ease into it and you got six trucks, and there was never this learning curve that, you know, where you hit and you had to do things in a different way, or? Oh, yeah. Wow. You know, I had somebody years ago, he asked me if I, what do you call it, he said he asked me if I wanted a half, I think that's what it was. That's like what, half a cow, I guess. And you know, I didn't have a freezer big enough for that. And at the same time, I'd never had anyone offer me meat in that way. So that was something that was totally foreign to me. You know, like I say, I'm too much of a city person to even know how to figure that out. So, but I hear the meat is can be really, really good, and you can just live off of that for a while. For the fourth truck, hmm. So at the fourth truck, then it was time for you to decide: am I going to stay on the road, or do I need to be home and be able to be off the road and manage them, give them the support that they need? Is what I'm hearing you say. You didn't say that, but that's kind of what I was hearing. Oh, that's see. Well, wow, that, I mean, that's actually, that's great. Wow, yeah, that, no, now that I think about it, all that you get, all the different parts you get, yeah. So you said, let's see, best thing is, hmm. So you have, so the way I understand that works is you have this steer, I guess, right? And then you have someone, I think it goes through two processes, right? I can't remember. Someone does something to it, and then they cut it up, and then they package it in all these different pieces, or you have it cut up however you want it cut up. Um, but someone handles all of that, and then when you receive it all packaged, right? That's kind of how that goes, and then you freeze it and pull it out, you know, whenever you're ready. They grind it up, everything, right? Okay. Mm, okay. Yeah. So, Well, you have three reefers, right? You have three refrigerators, so you could put you have a place to store it. You can get as much meat as you want. Uh, uh, yeah, yeah, that guy. I'm telling you, that guy's dedicated. You know, yeah, that's a dedicated guy. So that hey, you're learning from him. People learn from you, but yeah, that guy's dedicated. You know, um, and and it's so interesting because, and I always this is what I always think about when I think of him. I mean, we all start somewhere. You know what I mean? We all start somewhere. And when we get into this industry, it can be one truck, maybe two trucks, maybe we don't have any trucks, maybe we're just driving or in the office, but we all start somewhere. And to get to 16 trucks or 15, um, when you were just operating one and trying to figure out that, just trying to figure out the one truck, and then all of a sudden you have two, and then you have three, and then you have seven, and then you got 8, 9, 10. Does it get easier? I would say, and please just hear me out on this. I would say it gets easier, and what I mean by that, the more trucks you get, I think it gets easier. But what I'm saying is that if you look back and say, hey, this is where I was. I had, I don't know, one truck. Today, now I have this many trucks. One truck is nothing to run, at that point. So when we get to that next level, now we have 20 trucks and we look back on 10. My assumption is, I could definitely do that, no problem. But there's always that new challenge. You know what I'm saying? There's always that new challenge. There's always where we get more trucks or anything, and it's a new learning curve, right? So we just continue to have that capacity and be able to grow in that capacity. But when we look back, at one point that 20 trucks was challenging, or at one point that 10 trucks was challenging, or the 6 trucks was challenging, or even the one truck, But once we get past that and we get to that next level, it's a whole, we're definitely in a whole different. Uh, we're doing something completely different now, but when we look back, man, you got that. You got that. You can manage. Not only can you manage that, you can also support someone else. You know what I mean? You'd be able to support someone else in the sense that you'd be able to guide them along. Give them some advice and help them along the way. So, um, yeah, yeah, you'll get there wherever it is you're trying to get to. 10, 20. Do you have, hey, do any of your kids, are they into it? Are they in the business? Do they help you out? Or um, is there any of your children that it looks like they might want to follow in your footsteps? Is, hmm, hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. That's good. You know, yeah, because and part of it, I mean, it's getting out of our comfort zone in some areas. Even like me just being here on the YouTube. This is not my comfort zone. You know, this is not my element. This is not something that I um feel natural in. This is not anything that is um, uh, I ever thought about. You know, definitely never was. And so I remember one time back when I was married, someone had robbed us, someone had broken into our house. And my ex-wife, she called the police and they didn't show up. It was taking them forever. So she called the news and she was like, this is ridiculous, you know. And the news came out. I mean, they came out before the police got there. It was so crazy. And I was like, look, you handle all that. That's not my thing. And I just hung out in the background. I was like, you do all that. And the next day when I got to work, they were like, Paul, I saw you on the news. I'm like, I was not on the news. And I was hanging out, I guess, in the background, and they saw me. And but the point is that yeah, this is not my element. You know, this is not my thing. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Very good. Very good. That's that exciting for you that he's coming in? Is that something you look forward to? That I would think, especially, is your wife in it? Does she help you out? Definitely a family thing, huh? Or would your son even drive? Is that something he wants to do? Hmm. So you, man, so you guys have got like, you know, like, I guess you and your wife, and so are you driving? Do you drive now, or you're off the road for sure, for good? And I'm pretty sure if you are, you probably have to get in the truck whenever you have to, you know, and then you bringing on another. If you got somebody that's going to lease on, that's going to be something different for you. I wonder how is that going to be less responsibility in the sense of, or do you feel? I guess you would feel just as obligated either way, depending upon how you have it set up, um, just to keep them rolling. Mm. So you had a TMS system, and that TMS system wasn't working for you, and you need to get a new one, or just making some adjustments with the one you have. It's been a while since I've worked with the TMS system. That was back when I was brokering. I couldn't live without one. I don't know if you know, we had developed Elevate, and we're still working on it. Hope to open it back up here in about, oh, I don't know, maybe within a couple of months. But operates as a CRM to help carriers, manage those shippers, and having a system technology is great. It can be great. Mm, okay. Okay. So the lease guy, is that, I mean, you don't have to tell me anything, honestly. I'm just nosy, because I'm curious. But you said, you're somewhat stressed. Is it just because it's something new? Um, is something different? And just kind of got to get used to it. I mean, you said it's new. Okay, good, good. Yeah, that paperwork is always a challenge. That's good. That's good. How long have you had the TMS? Hmm. Yeah. Yep. There you go. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's yeah, just something new that you'll grow into. You know. Excuse me, but yeah, and then you'll figure out, if that's something that works for you or not. But um, yeah, that's good stuff. So that would put you at 7 trucks. And that means you're going to be giving DIY a run for his money. Hmm. So I guess the bigger you get, then you had to make a change. Yeah. So then, I mean, you guys, like I say, having 7 trucks, and then pretty soon getting to 8, 9, 10. You definitely want your systems to be able to grow with you, because they definitely can, like you say, present that bottleneck. But that's good. That's a good problem to have, actually. You know, that's one of those good problems to have. Yeah, that guy is not slowing down. DIY is not going to slow down. DIY is going to, pretty soon. I mean, I don't know. I might look out my window and I see a truck, and on the side of it, it might say DIY. You know. Yeah, it's so funny because I can talk to him at one point, and then I'll talk to him again, and the next thing I know, I'm like, "So how many trucks you got now?" And it's like, "Oh, I've got 50." Like, 50. Where did this come from? Oh, I don't know. I'm like, okay. So are you still on the road right now, or are you already back home? Yeah. Yeah. The thing about it is that he's keeping people employed by doing that. That's he's yeah, he's keeping a lot of people employed. Yeah, he's gonna yeah, like I say, one day there'll be a truck coming down the street, and I'll look out and I'll see his name on the side of it, and and I'll try to call him, and I probably won't be able to get a hold of him because he's so busy, you know. But that again, that's the way you want to get. I mean, I don't know if everybody wants to get to that level, you know. And when we say that level, I mean just continually advancing, um, because it can be done. There's no question about it. Here's the thing. It takes work. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of hard work, and that's what he does. He puts that hard work in, you know. And some days I'm sure it could be pretty challenging, and then other days it's like, wow, this is definitely worth it. But you got to be in it if that's what you want. Otherwise, it's just gonna be tough. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you said you're parked at home. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. So you've been home. Oh, okay. Good, 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 good. So you had a good drive back, and everything went well. And now it sounds like it's time to wind down and figure out: are we going to have more steak tonight? Are we going to do burgers tonight? Are we going to try to end the weekend with a salad? Hmm. You know what? A salad actually sounds pretty good. That might be the route I go tonight. I might try salad tonight. Oh, of course. Okay. That's a part of the learning process. Yeah. Why is everyone hating on the salad? Huh? What did salad ever do to anyone? Huh? I guess the answer would be nothing. Why is everyone hating on salad? I know there's got to be other people that enjoy salad other than me. I guess tonight you can switch it up, huh, and have either do some chicken. You can throw that on the grill, or get some. I don't know. Come up with a fish or something like that, maybe. Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. I guess that's how you get your veggies in, huh? You get it through the cow. Yeah, I don't know. Salad sounds pretty decent to me, I think. Maybe I'll have a salad and a side of chicken. Maybe I'll do it that way. Huh. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. What is the time? Where are you? Are you Central Time? Are you what are you? Are you yeah, I think you're Central, aren't you? You know what I should do? I probably could ask my Google Assistant here what would be some good options for dinner tonight. Matter of fact, I don't know who I was talking to. I was talking about food earlier, and my Google some kind of way spoke up and said it didn't understand what I was asking, and it's like, well, I guess maybe Google won't have any good options for me tonight. Yes, sir. Everyone likes water, huh? The water is the best part. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to 7 and 8. Okay, cool. I had lost track of time. What time is it? Oh, it's only 5:30, 5:25. It means I can have an early salad. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do an early salad. That's gonna be that's gonna be my the way I'm gonna end my holiday weekend is with a salad. I didn't eat salad all weekend though. I want you to know that I did not do. So, but I gotta get a little better with my diet. Kind of been off for the past month, so I gotta get back on track with that. So, so you farmed, huh? You were out there in the farm. What did you guys? I don't know what you call it, but what did you farm? Is that a good the way to ask it? Did you have like? Does every farm have livestock, or is that's not always the case? Because I don't know. My grandparents, they actually, I would say, had a farm. Um, it almost sounded like a nursery rhyme, but yeah, they had a farm, and I remember going there when I was a kid, and they had chickens, they had goat, and I think some other things. But I remember we were going to have chicken, I guess, that night, and they took that chicken, caught it, and they did what they did with it, cut the head off, and um, just traumatized me. And the chicken kept on running and moving around, and I'm like, what is this? What are they doing? Because it didn't make sense to me. And but they ended up plucking the feathers off, and that was just, I did not need to see that at 8. And then they they killed the goat in front of me, and it was just, I was just traumatized. But that was the extent of my farm life. It was fun. I mean, I loved being there, but that was brutal. Okay. All right. Mm. Wow. 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 You really lived the life, huh? You lived the life. So do you know who the veggie boys are? Like I said, they have the YouTube channel, and I was just really fascinated watching them. There's a lot of things we can see how it's grown, or how it uh, the process it goes through before it ends up on our plate. And I definitely rather, I think I'd rather, watch the process of vegetables and things like that, things that are grown, get to my plate, um, than watching meat get to my plate. But it's all interesting, man. I just, like I said, I watched the veggie boys, and that was a really really fun channel to watch. Not only, like I said, there was one video I saw that today. I haven't finished it, but I want to watch the rest of it. And kind of, I have a funny feeling I'll probably be watching that on a regular basis. I'll learn something about farming, and I'm sure there's an aspect of trucking in there somewhere that I'll be able to pick up on. Oh, okay. It is 5:30. I am gonna call it a day. See, I don't know the Veggie Boys. But years ago, I was posted in Florida. Is that Florida? Yeah, Florida Veggie Farmer. Yeah. Yeah. There's a. I'm pretty sure it's called Veggie Boys, is what it is. And I'm sure this one here, that would be a fun one for me to watch. But the Veggie Boys, they I just enjoyed watching the video, and looks like they've been doing it for a while. They have a pretty big following, and I mean, I'm sure there's something in there to learn. You probably won't learn anything. You've been doing this a while, so but it might remind you of the good old days. And but yeah, I really enjoyed watching that. So. But man, it was good talking to you again. I don't know how long it's been. It's been a while, huh? It has been a second. And I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Sounds like it, and the family as well. And you got 6 trucks there, looking to bring on one more. And before you know it, you'll have 15 like DIY. But at the same time, that doesn't mean he'll still have 15. He'll probably be at 50, you know. But yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, always learning. Absolutely. Yep. Nah, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You do. But that's okay. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Keep on learning. Keep it up. So, all right, man. Well, I am out of here. And man, you have a great weekend, or finishing off your weekend, and enjoy the week. and we'll talk again. All right. Be good.